It was a dark and stormy night. Philip had been walking home from work and was now about half a mile away from his house. The rain was coming down in sheets, and the wind was gusting so hard it was difficult to walk straight. Philip had seen this same weather pattern many times before and knew that it wasn't going to let up anytime soon. He also knew that he would get soaked to the bone if he didn't make it home soon. Just as Philip was about to give up and turn around, he saw a light in the distance. It appeared to be coming from a house on the side of the road. Philip had never seen this house before, but he was very grateful for the light it was providing. He began walking towards the house, and as he got closer he could see that the light was actually coming from a lamp on the porch. The porch was covered in vines, and the paint on the house was peeling. But even in its dilapidated state, the house emitted a warm and comforting glow. Philip walked up to the door and knocked. A moment later, the door opened and a woman stood before him. She was older, with wrinkles around her eyes and grey hair pulled back into a bun. "Hello," said Philip. "I'm sorry to bother you, but I'm caught in this storm and I'm freezing cold. Can I please come in and warm up for a bit?" The woman hesitated for a moment, then stepped aside to let Philip in. She led him into a small sitting room off of the entrance hall and gestured for him to sit down on the couch. Philip sat down gratefully, hunching over to try and get some warmth into his damp clothes. "Would you like something hot to drink?" asked the woman. "I've just made some tea." "Yes, please," said Philip gratefully. The woman went into the kitchen and came back a few moments later with a cup of steaming tea. She set it down on the coffee table in front of Philip, then sat down in an armchair opposite him. Philip took a sip of tea, letting its warmth spread through his body. The woman watched him silently for a few moments, then spoke up. "You seem like a nice young man," she said. "What are you doing out walking in this weather?" Philip told her about his job at the grocery store, and how he lived far away and usually walked home because it was cheaper than taking public transportation. The woman listened attentively, her face softened with sympathy. "It's not safe for you to be out walking in this weather," she said finally. "You should go home now before it gets any worse." Philip thanked her for her kindness, then got up to leave. The woman walked with him to the door, holding it open until he had safely made it outside. Then she closed the door behind him and went back inside her house. Philip turned around and looked at the house one last time before continuing on his way home. Even though it was old and run down, it had felt like a haven of warmth and safety in the midst of that stormy night. And for that, he would always be grateful.